Rumours, urban legends and myths of all kind can surface from anywhere and generate great legends. It's of no surprise then that countries all over the world have their own personal and terrifying stories that seem to echo throughout time, and persist for many generations to come. Many stories have been told about these legends, so today we'll be visiting Brazil, and taking a look at 5 mysterious urban legends from the country. El Tunchi. The thousands of tourists that visit the Amazon rainforest every year are well aware of their guides telling them that if they begin to hear whistling out in the forest, then do not whistle back and stick with the guide, as they will begin to run out of the forest towards safety. What most tourists are not aware of, however, is why the local guides have so much fear, and as mentioned, this fear revolves around this whistle. The El Tunchi is what is referred to as a dark and malevolent protector spirit. This spirit works to protect outsiders from entering the Amazonian forest and destroying its natural habitat. The way it accomplishes this goal is all the more terrifying. It's rumoured by native inhabitants that if you're out in the forest and the spirit has begun to target you, you will begin to hear what sounds like faint whistling in the distance. The whistle from the El Tunchi spirit is not like other whistles. However, due to the fact that once you hear it, the noises of the whistle will slowly begin to grow louder and louder. This is regardless of where you try to run or hide. This noise will then begin to hypnotise the target by forcing them to whistle back, and alerting it to your presence. If the target begins to whistle back, the spirit will immediately reach them and they will disappear forever. This has led many locals to speculate the El Tunchi originally came from the spirits of those who went missing within the forest, and never returned. Some have even put forward the idea that the new spirits now join the El Tunchi, and due to how many people have joined them, they've only grown in strength, which means it can cause others to be trapped in the forest and will never allow them to leave. Given the massive amount of reports of people going missing every year, along with local and experienced guides reporting of hearing this malevolent spirit at random times during their journeys, it's safe to assume that if you do begin to hear whistling of any kind, to immediately run out of the Amazonian jungles in the effort to save your own life. Boto Encantado. The Boto Encantado is a strange and peculiar creature that seems closer to that of hilarious rumours rather than to horror. This creature is a shape-shifting dolphin that lives inside the Amazon River and can only take form of a handsome man. During the night, this creature will transform, exit the river and begin going out to parties, clubs or bars in search of women. The Encantado are rumoured to be a special, nearly supernatural entity that comes from a special place in the ocean. This place is believed to be a paradise that knows no pain or hardship. It's due to this that kidnapping from the Encantado are rumoured to occur. The creatures are supposedly reported to be fond of abducting people who they fall in love with, and it's believed that many affairs do take place due to these creatures transforming. It's unsure whether or not the Encantado takes these people back to their paradise, or if anything else happens, but it's this which spreads fear among those who believe in the myth. In fact, the fear is so great between the people who are local residents of the areas beside the Amazon River that both children and adults refuse to go near any body of water. Some fishermen and canoers who have supposedly come into contact with this creature on their journey have said they've gone insane after the encounter. A good technique of spotting an Encantado reported by the locals is to look at the head of the handsome man. It's believed that if you look carefully you will find the blowhole of the dolphin, as this is the one thing their shapeshifting can't change, and has led to the common custom of women asking men to take off their hats. Given the lack of evidence and the common excuse by Encantado by teenage pregnancies, it's probably safe to assume that the myth is grounded more in comedic elements, and rumours rather than actual occurrences or witness accounts. However, there are those that believe in these creatures, and every so often someone does come forward detailing what happened to them. Lara. The Lara, which roughly translates to the woman of the lake or commonly referred to as the water queen, appears to be a myth of a siren that's capable of luring any man to live with her underwater. The Lady of the Lake is usually described as having dark green hair similar to that of the jungle plants, light brown or copper skin that resembles the skin tones of the indigenous people of Brazil, and deep brown eyes that seem connected to the brown eyes of the freshwater dolphins. Many locals of the area of Brazil believe the Lady of the Water to begin her ritual by sitting on a large rock by the river, while combing her hair with fish bones as she begins waiting for any men to pass by. Once the Lady of the Water began to feel the presence of a man approach her, she would begin singing a gentle tune to lure him in the area. Once under the spell of her songs, the man would become completely hypnotized, and unable to fight against the seductive powers of the Lara. After this, she would begin to lure the man inside. This isn't necessarily a terrible fate. However, as the Lara are regarded as beautiful immortal nymphs that have the ability to satisfy every need of their selective lover, and to spend the rest of their days with them in complete and utter happiness. The main fear of this fate comes from those who are left behind in the seduced man's life, as he will never return to the surface again. Caboclo do Agua. According to Brazilian urban legends, the São Francisco River houses a protection spirit. This spirit lives in the water and chases away any seedy fishermen that are looking to overfish and destroy the ecosystem. Referred to by locals as the Caboclo do Agua, this spirit isn't necessarily seen as malevolent, and can even be used to help fishermen in their times of need. It's rumoured and believed that if fishermen toss food to this spirit, it will grant them good fortune and allow them to turn up a profit. However, those that don't and work to overfish will soon find themselves attacked by the beast, and this spirit will attempt to pull their ship under the water. One such famous report comes from a canoe man that was travelling around the area, and claimed to have seen a large floating horse that appeared to have passed away deep in the river. As it began to approach the horse, it quickly sank and transformed into the beast, and latched onto the canoe man's boat in an attempt to destroy it. The man then quickly threw food and gifts into the water and the beast quickly disappeared. This has led to new customs and traditions of kayakers or canoe travellers to drop food into the river. They do this before entering and as a sign of respect to the creature, and for good fortune on their journeys across the river. Cabeça Satanica. Definitely the most unsettling urban legend by far is that of the Cabeça Satanica, also known as the Head of Satan or the Wandering Head. This creature is a Brazilian ghost or spirit that is described as having long stringy black hair, bright glowing red eyes like that of fire, and a high-pitched laugh that can pierce your eardrums. Reports from locals vary widely on how the head is encountered. Some claim the head can only be encountered in the deeper jungles as it drops from the trees, and attempts to latch onto those who pass by underneath it, whereas others claim the head can roll around until it finds someone to curse. If a person happens to be touched by the head, they will become cursed and soon develop a mysterious illness that will eventually lead to bad things. The origin of this story seems to also be shrouded in mystery, as no one is really certain as to what exactly causes the presence of the head, and after it touches the victim it will mysteriously vanish and disappear without a trace, leading many who have encountered it to be nothing more than a strange dream or hallucination. Others claim that as the head drops down from the trees, it can even begin floating and flying towards its target until it reaches them. Becoming a target of the head appears to not have a way to stop the curse, as the head will not cease to touch the person it's wishing to curse, and no known cure for the mysterious illness is believed to exist. The only possible explanation for getting the head to stop chasing you if you find yourself unfortunate enough to become one of its targets is to instead force another person to touch it and take your curse. However, if you do this, the head will disappear in a fit of laughter. So what do you guys make of these urban legends and mythological creatures? Are there any myths that you know of that you think we missed? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below, and be sure to share your answers and questions about the video. As always, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.